So, oh man, got ice water starter. So it's a man in the building. In the building. Oh, what's up? Hey. I know I'm high.
What's up? What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. Another week, another episode, season finale of season 2 of Ready to Love. And this was a strange ending to a strange season of a TV show that I initially liked and supported so much. My first idea or my first summary is this, a conclusion. That's the better word. I wonder if there's going to be a season 3. This season ended so weird. I mean, who knew that Nephew Tommy and Will Packer would just say, you get a man, you get a man, you get a man, you get a man. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like it was a bunch of consolation prizes. And they probably did that in the idea with, let's make sure that the crazies don't go crazy. Let's make sure that nobody goes home and go totally psycho. And I'm talking about you, Alexis, that you just won't go chop up or spray paint somebody's car. I'm talking about you, Tamy. It just seemed all over the place. It was a weird ending to the season. I don't know what to think about these relationships. I'm curious and interested so much in seeing what the review is going to be, what the reunion episode is going to be about. I just want to see what Jimmy says. I've been missing Jimmy since the minute, he ran off in the sunset, got in the car, and cried on his way home. So did Kimber's ass also. So I'm just curious to see where Jimmy and Kimber ended up. I wonder what happened to Aisha and Angie. If Terrell's still touching people by the lips. Once again, this show was so weird this season. It was just such a stark difference from season 1 to this season. I wonder if there's going to be a season 3. I would love for it to be a season 3. I just don't know. So let's get into it. First thing I want to start off is by mentioning some of you commenters and some of the new subscribers on the show. Danita Goodlow. I think she's a new subscriber. I think it's, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Do not get upset with me. I've had 1 or 2 Long Islands. It's a beautiful day in Houston, Texas. Matter of fact, as soon as I finish this video, I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna get it uploaded during the day. It is 73 degrees, and it's like December the 16th. It's like paradise lost. You cannot get a better environment than what it is. As soon as I finish this, I'm about to go upload this video. Hopefully these flies won't hit my drink anymore. I'm going to go upload this video. We're going to go take a shower. Well, upload the video, get a quick workout, take a shower. And I'm about to hit these H-Town streets because it's just beautiful outside. Like, this is a patio day. It is 73 degrees. It is December the 16th, I believe the date, or 15th, one of the days. Who cares? It is a beautiful day. But back to, like I said, new subscribers. Danetta Goodlow. I think it's Matra Live. And also, I think the best comment I read out of anybody's, and trust me, y'all had great comments, but the funniest comment I read was from the greatest of all these is love, when she said that Brent is simping so hard for Alexis. And it was funny when she said that, because I was like, man, I could just see somebody being a simp. And she said Brent is simping so hard for Alexis. That's the funniest comment that I saw through all the comments. And trust me, y'all were some fools this week in these comments. Another shout out, Amani Ashe. I think she's a new subscriber, at least she's a new commenter. Aranda Bell, Miss Perfect 90. I think it's Sony M and Lorraine Carter. And also, it was a commenter, and I want to respond back to one of her comments that she pushed back on something I said during the last video. Her name is Claudia Riggins. So in the last video, or the last review I had, I mentioned the fact that sometimes I tell, my students, and I tell people all the time, who you are, especially my students, I'm like, who you are at 15, 16, 17, 18 years old is pretty much who you're going to be for the rest of your life. Like, there's not a light bulb that switches on and somehow you just take this maturation process and turn yourself into a different person. And so Claudia Riggins hit me back, and she was like, she kind of disagreed with that. Personalities change. but you definitely, are different at 40 and 50 or 30, 40, and 50 than what you are as a teenager. And so it took me a while to respond back to her comment. I ended up responding back to her this morning. It wasn't about that comment. Hopefully she watches. Hopefully she hears it and she responds back to, my response to her in the comment area. But my thing is this: the whole scenario that we saw at the end of last episode, let's back this up. From Alexis from the beginning, especially at the end of the last episode, beginning of this episode, that is what I meant by, that is what I meant by who your personality is or who you are as a teenager in your teenage years. It's pretty much who you're going to be as an adult. That, there's not this large variation. In my personal opinion, I think your responsibilities change. Sometimes your responsibilities become more essential. They become more important. If you have children, having a child adds a certain amount of responsibilities that you have to have a certain amount of focus and appropriate, concentration on. I think certain jobs, certain positions that you have allow you to take on more responsibilities that you have to handle. But the reality is that who you are during those years, those foundational years, are pretty much who you're going to be for the rest of your life. And there's theories, there's psychology behind that kind of, backs that up. And then there's just personal experiences. One of the things I say about myself is this, and a lot of people that I know, friends of mine that have known me from childhood to now, even former, peers of mine in high school, they see me and we start talking, and within 2 or 3 minutes, it's like, man, you have not changed at all. Like, you're literally the same person. And I don't take that as a negative. It's the fact that the foundation of who I am, I've always been that way. Even as I've shared with y'all about my ideas about, relationships and what I look for, and I'm always talking about communicating, about, you telling somebody up front and trying to be as transparent as you can. I've been that way even as a teenager. And so, it was like, I remember there was one day I was sitting in, it was an architectural design class. If you went to Elkins High School with me, you had Mr. Harden, we were sitting in the classroom. And I never forget this girl. She was a bright-skinned girl. I think I was maybe a freshman or sophomore at the time, so she had to be either a junior or a senior. And so we were talking about something in relationships, like as far as like a high school relationship. And it was something I said to her. And she was a pretty girl, fine. I can't remember her name. She was one of the popular fine chicks, in high school. And so I said something to her, and I never forget this. Or it was something along the lines about what I would deal with a girlfriend. And I never forget this, and she was 17, so I had to be 15 or 14 or whatever. But she knew then, at 17 years old, by what I said, she made this comment, and it stayed with me for even now. She was like, I could never be married or be in a relationship with somebody like you, because you just don't want to just do what essentially I say, or put it like this, to a certain extent, you weren't going to conform to what I needed you to be. And so it was amazing at that age. She knew that at 16 or 17 that she needed a man to conform to whatever she needed to have going on in her life. Part of it was based on her looks. She was high yellow, pretty girl. Most guys at the school was always talking about her, wanted to be chasing after her. So that was one of those things that was evident. And then she recognized in me at a young age that it's like, look, you really think things through too much. You're going to make your own decision. And it really doesn't matter what I got going on. I'm not going to be able to sway you one way or the other. And that's been me. That's me to the fullest. Like, it's almost like with Brent. When Brent said that, hey, I'm not going to get pushed into a relationship. You're not going to push me, or you're not going to make me do things on your timetable. It's going to be on my timetable. And that kind of resonated with me with Brent. Once again, that's just who I am. I've been that way all throughout my life. I may not have realized that, but it's the truth. And so, I looked at Alexis and how she responded to Divine. She even talked about it as a child, growing up, that she was a fighter. People thought she was a pretty girl. She was ready to scrap all the time. And that personality came out as she got pressed, as she got pushed into more uncomfortable positions. you saw what came out. What came out was a scrapper. What came out was somebody that would claw at you, that would reach for any small, any bitty thing to tear you down as a way of being a self-preservation. Let's say that. So that's one of those things, and I see that, like I said, as a teacher, you see personality traits in teenagers, teenage boys and teenage, young women, young men. That it's like, okay, that personality trait is gonna be with you forever. Because I've seen that in adults. I've seen that in adult women, like adult women that are manipulators, or adult, men that are manipulators. They've been working that sauce. They've been working that game since they was 15. Actually, probably younger than that, probably since they was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. And so, when Claudia Riggins kind of pushed back on me about that, I wanted to respond to her, but it was like, okay, that's going to take too much typing for me to respond to her. But I hope she's watching it, and I hope she realizes that's what I meant by that. You saw that with Alexis. You see that later on, and we'll get to it in more detail with Mario and even his mama. Mario, what, 42 years old, 43 years old. So his mama at least his mama got to be what? 70? I mean, if he's 42, yeah, his mama at least got to be in her 60s. You see her personality, the way she came after Tunde. That personality trait has been in her since she was a child. She didn't develop that over the years. Who she is now at 60, whatever, 60, 70 years old, she's probably been that way all her life. But anyway, let's just get into this whole episode. Let's get into Divine. Let's get into London. And the first scene we saw with Divine in London, Divine comes back after this whole big time blowout. After this big time blowout at the wine bar. And, she wants some clarification. She played it well at the wine bar, even though that she knew that Alexis was acting a fool. Some of the things that Alexis said, she took mental notes of. And she's like, okay, London, I need you to explain it. I hate to sound like a hater. I hate to blow up one of the bros, especially somebody from Texas, especially somebody from Houston. Man, London lying, man. You could see it in his face. I hate to be like that, but I think London was lying. I think he was, he never outright said that all of this didn't happen. He said that in kind of a big overlapping way, but he didn't never address those things like, look, I never kissed that woman. I don't believe the whole three-way call thing was real, but, the whole car locked out and him kissing her, it's like, it's not a big deal, London. Just admit it. I mean, shoot, Devon was outside the damn car with Brent damn near dry humping his ass on TV. So what's wrong with you being like, okay, yeah, I did kiss him. It is, it is what it is. It just, it happened. I got caught in a moment. I'm sorry about that. It did happen. Just be upfront, or be able to know how to navigate that and how to express yourself. But, like I said, I hate to be like he's lying. I hate to feel like I'm throwing salt in the game. But London lying. Londo, you got to tell the truth, man. You can't start this whole relationship off built on lies. Like, this is an opportunity for you just to say, okay, this is what it is. Let me clarify some things. Or let me build this lie on some truths. That's one of the, let me not tell you a secret, but that's one of the things you can do. Your lie can be based on truths. So you may not tell the 100% truth, but you can tell 70% of the truth and 30% of a lie. And it's like, look, it's still based on the truth. That's just a tip for you players out there. Once again, you may not want to listen to me because I'm not married no more. But anyway, so we have the family meetups. We had Brent and Alexis meet up together. We saw Brent at his home with his mother and with his aunt. Alexis comes over. Brent and his mother look identical. I mean, it's always funny to me. I always enjoy seeing people, meeting their parents and see who they get their distinct features from. Brent and his mother are like identical twins. So, Brent brings up a good point, in my opinion. We see them come together. We see Brent's mother kind of questioning at least not questioning. She's trying to get more information out from Alexis, and she brings up the cabin trip. And Brent takes heed to essentially what I think was obvious to everybody. As soon as you ask Alexis about that cabin trip, she opens up with information about London to the point that it's just so compulsive where it's like, okay, you are obviously thinking about this man. And Brent even says, like, look, man, I'm not a bench player. I need to be your number one. Don't pick me because you just want to be on the show and you want to win. As we saw that OG Tamy and Will Packer did, just allowed basically everyone left over to win. His idea was this, man. At least his rationale is don't pick me because you couldn't have London. And I think Brent recognizes that off the bat. It's like, look, do you feel me? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. There's some type of attraction here. It may possibly be physical. But the truth is that you're picking me because you don't have London. And, we saw that even in the back, kind of a backstory of it between the debate, the back and forth between her and Divine. Where, she got to the point where she was insulting London physically. And it's like, come on, man. There's no way that you like somebody that much, but then you're just physically unattractive to them. It just doesn't make sense. I was waving at my folks that work here at the country club. So it's like, it was no way that was real. But the bottom line is that she doesn't recognize it, or at least she doesn't want to admit it on screen. You still are attracted. You're still a bothered about London and Divine's situation. And I'm glad Brent picked up on that. His parents seem great. Even the whole dynamic, with her meeting the parents and the folks, I think he realized that we may have a physical chemistry, but beyond that, it's not much. And like I said, I guess my biggest conclusion with Brent and Alexis is just I need an update. I need a where are they now? I know we're gonna have a reunion special, but I think that's filmed kind of quickly after the season wraps up. So everybody's still together and everybody's still new. But I just want to know where they end up at. Then we have Mario and Tandy. So Mario invites Tandy over to his house. First off, you had his mother show up, who she's in love with her child. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love my son. I love him to the deers. But this woman is directly in love with her son. You can tell that once again, the ground that his feet touches, she kisses and she thinks it's layered in gold. So you had Mario's mother, I believe it was his cousin, and his daughter. So Tiny comes walking into the lion's den because, once again, the queen head lioness, Mario's mother, was ready to pounce on Tandy as soon as she walked in. And so you get this whole conversation back and forth. She's grilling Tandy about, who she is, what she wants. Do you really know Mario? Even his daughter was like, she's a very beautiful woman. So it seems like she resonates with the daughter and the sister. But then we get into these cryptic messages that we're getting from Mario's mother and from his cousin. I don't know if that's his sister or his cousin. I can't remember. In which, she asked, do you think that Mario is controlled? I think that was the cousin of the sister. I could have it wrong. Or it could be the multiple Long Islands. But the point is this. London says, look, I don't think that I'm controlling, or I have grown from that. Even his cousin or his sister admitted, well, he's not controlling. He just likes things a specific way. He's very open and upfront and direct, which I think in a relationship you would be able to commend, whether you're a man or a woman, somebody being upfront and direct. So I think that's a commendable trait that he has. But then his mother chimes in and it's like, okay, do you know the dark side of Mario? And I saw that during the preview and I'm looking at it now and I'm like, okay, what you mean the dark side? Mama, you scaring me. Hey, is this man, did he be knocking chicks out? Does he got a pass? It's like, what's going on with this messaging? Like, are you is it a scare tactic to try to scare Tandy away? Or is it some type of cryptic message like, look, you need to get out while the getting is good? I don't know. So, it was interesting. And I go back to what I said earlier when I started the show. And this goes back to Miss Claudia Riggins, the commenter if she's looking. Once again, Mario's mother has to either be in her 60s or 70s. You cannot tell me the personality that she has not had since she was a teenager or since she was 18, 19, 20 years old. There has been no conversion in that. Like, who she is didn't click on at 27 or 33. And that's what I mean. Like, Mario's mama, you can tell, she likes to get with her partners, and she a mean girl. She's been a mean girl forever. She was a mean girl before the movie even started, before the movie even came out. So, that's just my opinion. I just want to know what message was they trying to send. I read some commenters on some on a live that they had this morning where somebody actually screenshotted the whole episode, and it was someone saying that it's like, look, that it reeks of toxic femininity or femininity, and I was like, it makes sense. It seems like his mother and either his sister or cousin, whoever that was basically trying to throw salt in the game and not letting their relationship grow. I don't know. So then we see London and Divine, his parents come in, and it was pretty, just straight through. The whole parent meeting deal was a little weird. You can tell that they were setting up, they were building up to an end. Because even when I was watching the whole parent meet thing, or you meeting the family, they were rushing through it so fast. So London's family came in, and once again, look, I'm not just going to support these people because they're from Houston, and I'm a Houstonian. But look, man, they're good, genuine Houston Southern folks. His mom and his daddy came in. They was very poor. They knew they wasn't going to act a fool. They wasn't going to make a fool of themselves. They trust in the man that they raised. And, once again, they was looking to see, okay, who is this Divine chick about? And you can tell by his mother. His mother kind of had a look on his face like, all right, can you really tame my son? Can you get this Negro to act correct? He's 42 years old. We don't know what to do with him. I don't wash my hands of him. I need a woman to take him off my hands. And that seemed what she was looking for in Divine. His daddy kind of had that London old player attitude where it looked like, he looked at Divine a couple of times like, man, shoot, if I was 30 years younger, baby, you wouldn't be leaving here with him. You're going to be leaving with Big Daddy. But, it just seemed like a good, genuine relationship. Like I said before, I think there's more to Divine than her looks. I think she puts that look up front. It gets her attention. It's really easy to kind of get a man to engage with her. But I think it's more to her than that. I actually think that Divine would be a good, unless it's a backstory to Divine, and everybody got their own skeletons in their own closet. We all got our own ghosts. I think she may actually make a good partner. It just seems like there's more to her than just her appearance. With that being said, we get through a couple of more family meets. Brent comes over and meets Alexis' family. And this is one thing I did say I wanted to see. I wanted to see Alexis' family and who all showed up. And I think it's interesting, and and I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way, unless her mother has passed, it was interesting you didn't see her mother. And I just go back to her personality. I go back to what she said about how she grew up. Was there a maternal influence in her life? Like, was her mother around? And, and I don't know if she passed or not, and I'm not trying to attack anybody. I would never attack anybody's family on here, on my reviews, because, look, it's all entertainment. I'm just here to have fun. But it was interesting that you did not see her mother. You saw, I believe it's her godmother, her aunt, and I think you saw her sister, but you didn't see her mother. And I just wonder, once again, much like the way Darren said, how he is now is based on what he saw his father was and his father's relationship with his mother. How much of an impact is what we see out of Alexis, a result of her mother, whether her mother was there or not, or if her mother passed at an early age, just what that dynamic is. That was interesting to me. So let's get to this final verdict, because like I said, this episode was kind of weird. It seemed rushed to build up suspense that, if Brent was going to show up or not. And it was so different from last season, how last season ended. It was one of those things like last season, you knew who the couples were and they were just revealing them to you. Or they knew who the couples were and they was revealing it to us, the viewer. But this episode of this season, it was so different. It seemed like they were trying to leave us in the dark of saying we don't even know who the couples are. We don't know how genuine this is, and maybe that was something that they picked up throughout the show. It was like, well, the way we see it is the way they saw it. They don't know how genuine or how solid these relationships are, so we just gonna present it that way. We're gonna kind of just run off the cuff. We're gonna present it to you. And we're gonna say, hey, you figure it out as much as we're figuring it out in real time also. And it kind of worked according to that, because we all as viewers have sat there and said, we don't know if any of these people are really here for love. We don't know if anything's really genuine. We're trying to figure out who the actors and actresses are. Like I said, who's trying to clout chase, who's trying to get their Instagram followers up, who's trying to come the man or the woman in a city of Atlanta. Atlanta, much like Houston, is one of those cities. It's very heavily, influenced by, prominent African Americans. So you never know what the agenda is. But the final verdict, we get to Tunde and Mario. And I will say this, and I know y'all may not want to hear this, but damn, when Tunde came walking down that pier or that dock, that woman looked like a champion. Like in that all black, she was like the Black Stallion. Oh my gosh, when she came down there, I actually had a pause. I had a DVR to scream. It's like, Jesus, Tunde. I don't know. I'm going to fall back. But, once again, when she gets to Mario and they go through so many different cutscenes with each couple, with Mario and Tunde, I ask myself is this. Is the relationship real? Tunde seemed very apprehensive about Mario. She seemed like she was trying to figure out, was it genuine? She said that, hey, I've given you all of me, which was ironic because Mario kept on saying that Reva wasn't opening up to him. So, was it something that Tunde felt that same thing? There was commenters, and I watched many different reviews, and a lot of people said that, hey, Mario and Reva really are the same person. They don't believe, many of y'all was like, I don't believe Mario is really exposing his real self. And so Tunde kind of confirmed that. It's like, look, I'm giving you me, the good, bad, and the ugly. Who are you? And every time Mario opened up his mouth, it felt like a breakup. Like, I'm like, okay, Mario, at what point are you going to say, look here, man, look here, Tunde, this has been great. It's been a nice ride. I've enjoyed this whole process with you. But the truth of the matter is, this just ain't going to work out. That's what I kept on looking for. Because every time he opened up his mouth, it felt as if he was going to break this thing off. So they end up riding off in the sunset. Like I said, I'm going to need an update on them. I need a where are they now? I know we're going to have the reunion, but I need a true where are they now? Like right now, December 15th to 16th, whatever day this is, like what are y'all doing with each other? London and Divine, like I said, I go back to this with Divine. I think the relationship could be real, and it's based on Divine. Divine seems like she actually has a genuine like for London. Not saying that London doesn't like Divine or doesn't have feelings or affections for Divine, but I know London's still trying to play. You could just feel it. Or maybe he can't help but to play, as I said to one of the commenters in one of the threads that we were on. But to me, Divine seems like she would really make this relationship genuine. And it's more substance to her than I think. Ashima and Darren, I'm going to call it like I said. I think Ashima's going to break up with Darren at some point. Just the truth. I don't think Darren's Ashima type. I think Ashima was trying something new with Darren. But I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think that that's her type. And she kept on, it was how she was phrasing things. Even the meeting with her and Uncle Tommy, her nephew Tommy, let me not say Uncle Tommy, nephew Tommy, when they got together and she was like, look, Darren's not going to be able to make it. He's still in Detroit with his dad. And he asked her specifically, do you think that this is someone that you are in love with or have fallen for? And her answer was so much of a backhanded, direct answer. It was, well, I think he is the guy that I think that I can start the process. And it's like, hold on. Now, y'all went through 10 weeks. You wasn't saying that stuff in these 10 weeks. You was very direct. This is your man. You ready to get this thing going. Now at the end, you're thinking about he might be the one that you could possibly such and such. I don't think that lasts that long, man. I think that Ashima got off the screen. I think within a month period, she was like, this ain't gonna work. I think she broke up with him. Like, I would not be surprised by the time they get to the reunion. They are broken up. That's just my opinion. I'm not hating on a woman. I'm just saying, I don't think that Ashima and Darren are so much of attraction as they were or they appeared on this show. And I think it was one of those things after Ashima realized that, every woman gets a man and every man gets a woman. It's like she didn't have to fake that phone. I think she may be attracted to Darren. I think it may be something new. I think it may be a physical body for her to have in the bed. But I just don't think, sorry, that's a fly on me, mosquito. I don't think that she's attracted to him. And so finally we end up with Alexis and Brent. And, I give Real Packard and I give Nephew Tommy a lot of credit. I think they realized throughout the shooting who the person was in the villain of the episode. And with that being said, they kind of built up to this climactic kind of end with Alexis and Brent. And the truth of the matter is look, I think Brent was smart enough to recognize this with Alexis. And hopefully the sun is not giving me this big glare. I think he realized that, look, Alexis is about that BS. I am clearly number 2. And I'm just going to stick around enough to get some of this crazy woman sex, and then I'm going to dip. Because, once again, you crazy women out there know this. You know it to be true. You crazy women got some of the sweetest tasting crazy woman sex between your legs that anybody else got out there. I don't know what it is about something about that craziness up top in your head and what that does down between your legs, but it's just the fact of the matter is, it's just the truth. So I think Brent recognized, look here, I'm a tiptoe around this. I'm gonna get some of this little crazy woman sex, and then I'm gonna bounce. That's just the bottom line. And it was evident that Alexis she's just a bad liar, and it's amazing how one person from the beginning of the show, the casting review, to the end of the show, like how you chipped away so much of your personality and of the front and the persona that you was putting on. And like I said, and I think a lot of us recognized, I noticed that the minute the casting review came on, and it goes back to that original review that I dropped, the casting review, that I knew it. It was like, it's something about Alexis. There's something there. You could see it in her eyes. It was the crazy. You could see the crazy in her eyes. And maybe because I've dated too much crazy, or I'm attracted to crazy just a little bit. I'm not that much attracted to crazy. But a little hint of crazy is okay. And you could see it in her face. It was crazy. It was there. It was evident. So, like I said, I have mixed reviews about the end of this show. As I mentioned before, how it ended and how, compared to how season 1 ended, is so different. I don't know if it's going to be a season 3. I would like for it to be a season 3. I think realistically and honestly, it's not going to be a season 3. I think this is not just a season finale. This is a series finale. Just because of how it just all broke its way down. I don't know. Hopefully we'll figure that out. What I am going to ask you is this. If there's a series that you want me to review, let me know. Because I am going to continue with the reviews. Most likely I'm going to review Love and Hip Hop New York. Just for the simple fact that I like the show. I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Dipset and Jim Jones music. So Jimmy's about to be back up on there. Also, you got Chrissy, little crazy, short hair. Once again, it's something about little crazy women with short haircuts that's attracted to me. I'm attracted to all women, but if there is a fit, short hair, crazy little woman. But anyway, I'm probably going to be reviewing that episode, or at least that series. If there's anything else you want me to review, let me know. Also, Vlogmas is coming. Sorry about the sun. There is a real big glare. It just came out of nowhere, like I said. See if that's better. Like I said, thank you for the cloud. Like I said, it's beautiful weather out here in Houston. Hopefully I'm not all greased up and sweating because it is warm outside. But the bottom line is I'm going to continue with some reviews. Vlogs coming in January. Podcast coming. It's going to be I'm gonna have it all formatted out. It's gonna be not a hood rich production, but it's gonna be real. It's gonna be raw. It's gonna be authentic. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. I am going to go live during the reunion. This is what I need. I have 95 subscribers on this show, on this channel. I'm happy about all 95, 95 or 91. I don't know. I'm happy about all of it. Hell, the fact that I got one person was enough for me. And as I told you, the fact that I was looking for maybe 10 people to watch these videos. All right, I had to move around. That son was kicking my ass. But back to what I was saying. The point is this. Look, it's 1,000 y'all that watched the last video. I need all 1,200 of y'all who watched the last review to go to my Instagram, subscribe to me, so I can go live with 1,000 people on the reunion. It's probably gonna be 2 reunion episodes. You know how they do it. Go, like, comment, subscribe. Go to Instagram. Go follow me. I'm out. Have a great week. Enjoy yourself. I'm about to go hit these streets. Peace.